Nicholas, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Nicholas, for those out there, joined our practice about 4 or 5 months ago, and he's handling a lot of our millennial type clients, those between 20 and 35. Yep. So we brought Nicholas on today to talk a bit about what's happening in his area of expertise. And Nicholas, here are some of the facts right now. And I came across a study from the Bank of America, Merrill Lynch, and Career Builders Research in 2017, a Gallup poll as well. 83% of those students right now that are out there right now have student loans that are going to cause a significant concern in their financial lives. 43% of those between 20 and 35 said they need help saving for retirement. 7 out of 10 in your age category right now are concerned about credit cards and debt. 1 in 5 in your age category couldn't come up with a $2,000 payment if needed without getting into to credit. 57% of employees out there are stressed about their finances. 1 in 2 have too much debt. The majority of those interviewed, half in the survey said they don't own a home, they want to own a home. So there's some really big things happening in your age demographic. Now, you're a graduate from Brock University. So just walk me back a year or two. So you're in your classes, you're taking your classes, and you're thinking about your life. What's going through your mind at that point?
I want to get out. I want to start working. I want to build a career. I want to build a clientele. I want to help people. You know, COVID came into play. I couldn't wait to get out. You know, things are online. It was just really tough. And I just kept thinking to myself, I got to just keep going, keep pushing through. One day I'll look back and say, wow, you know, I made it through, and now look at myself, I'm in a career, right? So
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, you know, the guys are sitting around the hallway, and they're all talking about they want to buy a big house, they want to have nice cars, they want to have a good living. I mean, everybody wants abundance. But I want to talk about with you, Nicholas, right now. I put together 7 things here. I call it the new reality of the 20 to 35-year-olds. And the first thing here is having to deal with student debt. So, you know, a lot of kids have come out of school, some fortunate, some not so fortunate, but a lot of your colleagues or your cohort are coming out of school with student debt.
Yeah, for sure. I know. Here's an example. You know, we actually had a client come in. He's about 25 years old, graduating dentist from U of T, you know, starting his career. And one of the first things that come up in the conversation, he's got about $300,000 in OSAP.
It's incredible.
So you can imagine 25 years old, you're carrying $300K in debt. You're trying to build your career up. You're trying to save some money, think about a home. But the first thing you got to handle is that large burden of debt.
Absolutely.
It just makes things so much more difficult, especially at that age.
Well, you look at a cost of a post-secondary education these days, you're looking at probably $12,000 to $15,000 if you don't even go away to school. So those that have parents that were able to save, there's a $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a year investment by mom and dad. That's been covered off. But some of these kids out there right now that haven't been that fortunate are walking out with $50,000, $100,000, $150,000 of student debt. So that's one of the new realities for your demographic. Number 2 reality here for those 20 to 35-year-olds is trying to find really good paying jobs. Really difficult these days.
Oh, yeah. You know, another example, I got a couple here. A good friend of mine, same thing, you know, just graduated, medical science degree, 4.0 GPA, you know, very ambitious kid, you know, stellar marks. And he's constantly having to apply and apply. He's trying to go to dental school, maybe medical school, but the competition is fierce. So even with the degree and the GPA, everything's there. It's still not enough with these guys. And it's just making it so difficult. And the runway now, you're looking at 4 years of undergrad, another 4 years post-grad, and then you got to specialize. So you got about 12, 14 years if you get out right away and you get into a school. But
and the world's expensive, right? So you're getting these kids coming out with degrees upon degrees, great degrees, and they're waiting tables. So again, you know, when I came out of school in my 20s, same type of challenges, but I think it wasn't as competitive back then as it is today. Today it's a global economy for that job. And, you know, there's jobs all around the world. So difficult for these 20-year-olds to find good paying jobs. Number 3 here in the new reality for 20 to 35-year-olds is a degree is no longer a job guarantee where, you know, 20, 30 years ago, if you came out of school with a bachelor's or a BA or any type of college or post-secondary degree, you could almost walk into a really cushy job. No longer is that the case.
No, I totally agree. Like we were just saying, you know, you come out of school, even with the degree, it's just not enough. You got to look at maybe a master's degree. Even then, it's just there's always so many other applicants who have the exact same marks, the exact same appeal to, admissions. It's just extremely tough. It's very hard.
And you come out with your master's degree and you got to start at the bottom of the food chain, right? Which is difficult for most. Number 4 reality is soaring rents. So, you come out of school, you're hoping to buy a house. We know what's happening with home prices these days. I mean, they're extremely expensive. But the other issue is rents are going through the roof. So your friends that want to be on their own, live on their own, how do you save for the future when you've got soaring rents?
Exactly. So you have to look at it, what's the opportunity cost? So you try and, rent, you're looking at maybe $1,000, $2,000, depends if you split that with a couple friends, and you look at the cost of, why don't I just buy? Well, how are you going to get approved? You're a kid, 22, maybe 25 years old.
Right.
You're going to go to the bank. What income are you going to show? You know what I mean? They look at you and they say, how credible are you to obtain a mortgage? And
absolutely,
they just push you to the side.
Well, you need you need mom and dad, the bank and mom and dad to come in and help
exactly.
help with the down payment. Number 5 here, the new reality is having to save longer to buy a house. So you look at it right now. I think when I was 23 years old, I started to save for my first house. I waited about 2 years. My down payment back then, the house was, I bought a beautiful little bungalow in St. Catharines. The house was $105,000, if you can imagine. That's the price of a good car these days.
It's a down payment.
Exactly. Now it's the down payment, right? Yeah. So for me, it was easy to come up with $10,000 or $15,000. But you're going to have to now save probably in your 20s to buy that first house.
For sure. Even for myself, I'm ambitious on that, but I know the runway at minimal, 5 years, and that's aggressively saving towards that. I'm thankful I've had, very, great parents helping me out, but it's not realistic to just double your income and get a home. Now you're looking at, 8 times your income just for a down payment. Maybe,
that's right.
It's crazy.
Yep. And again, number 6 here on the new reality for your generation is relying on a parent. But what's funny with parents is that the parents are just as worried as you are. So I'm a parent, obviously. What I worry about is, are my kids going to be able to at some point in the future have that money for a house? Can their job justify the mortgage? Can their cash flow justify it? So as much as the 20-year-old is worried, the 50-year-old is just as worried.
Yeah. It can put, it could put your parents out of sorts too, having to leverage certain things just to get some cash available. It's totally difficult now.
Yeah, it's a different world. And the final point here I want to make on the new reality for those 20 to 35-year-olds is lower working income as compared to a previous generation. And what we're finding right now is a lot of employers, because there's a little demand for, there's a little supply of jobs, there's a big demand for unemployment or for employment. It's basic economics, supply and demand. And again, a lot of kids are going into jobs at $15, $16 an hour, $20 an hour. And as I always say, $20 an hour is fine, living at home, you've got a used car, but at $20 an hour, it's going to be difficult to put any type of money away for the future.
Totally, I totally agree. If you look at average incomes in Canada, sure, it's risen in a positive trend, but it's not in line with the markets of, housing markets, just basic cost of goods. It's just, there's a huge gap.
Well, it's a great point because I was reading an article today, and it said that in 2021, the price of homes went up by about 20%. So Royal Bank and TD Bank both did their appraisal and said homes went up by about 20%. But incomes didn't go up by 20%. Yeah. So you're completely right. So when all this comes to play, the reason why we bring it up and we brought Nicholas in today is we built a program in our practice. It's called Launch. And Launch is basically a program designed for 20 to 35-year-olds. It's creating the foundation to a lifetime of financial success. And I think what I've realized is for the past number of years talking to clients, when I ask them in their life what keeps them awake at night, every parent said to me, what I worry about the most are my kids and their future. Mm-hmm. And so what we did is we stepped back and said, okay, what are the critical areas that you've got to work on? So for your generation right now, we've come across 7 key areas. The first thing is that 20 to 35-year-old, you've got to have a debt strategy. It's important to have a debt strategy. Where's your money coming in? Where's the money going out? Quick point, had a guy come in a week ago, him and his partner, credit cards cards that aren't being paid down. Yeah. So I said to him, before we do anything financially, before a dollar gets invested, I want to start hammering down your debt. Sure. Number 2 in the Launch program, Nicholas, is the cash flow. And again, it's teaching people how to take a dollar in and not spend it all. Because what traditionally happens is you get paid on Friday, the money goes into a bank account, and then you go crazy on the weekend. and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you eat out 3 or 4 days in a row.
Yep.
And by Friday, you're poor again. So we have to teach people how to cash flow accordingly.
For sure.
Number 3 here is the emergency fund. And again, we want to have an emergency fund for our clients in this demographic. So again, like you just bought a new car.
Yeah.
If something happens, it is nice to have that little emergency fund that you can tap into.
Definitely. It's a nice little cushion that most people don't have, and you don't realize how beneficial it may be. Obviously, you don't want to see it come into play, but you definitely need a cushion there for sure.
And for most people, the average cushion is, even 1 month's salary, having 1 month's salary put aside, just somewhere safe, not having it in cryptocurrency, right? Or maybe in, high risk equity stocks, just having it in something safe and secure. Yeah. Number 4 here on our launch program is the risk piece, risk management. So again, a lot of this demographic comes in, they're 25 years old. They've been on their mom and dad's health and dental plan for a year. And one of the things we're finding is when we ask them at 25, like, what are you going to do for health insurance or for dental insurance? And they have nothing.
Exactly. They don't really think about it. As soon as you're done school, you're still at home. You're still in the mindset of, I'm at home. I got my parents around. But next thing you know, you're looking at insurance, the health plan, adult things. You transition, and you have to really have the attitude as well. You have to really be on that mindset of, okay, now I have to start thinking in terms of 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, not what are we going to do on Friday, Saturday night? Oh, let's go to the bar. Let's go out for drinks. No, now it's time to plan for your future because you have an opportunity and these kids need to take advantage of this time right now.
Absolutely. When I had my daughter in grade 8, when she went from grade 8 to grade 9, I said to her, you went from baby school to big school, right? So same thing with your demographic is you're finishing university. Now you're going to the big time, which is the adult world. Number 5 here in our launch program is helping your generation create equity for a home, talking about homes, pricing, understanding what you're able to at some point borrow, what's affordable. Again, totally. A lot of youth come in here and they want to buy a $500,000 or $600,000 condo. Yet, with a $30,000 or $40,000 income, it's not achievable.
Yeah, no, for sure. Or even I want to buy a $100,000 car. Yeah. You have to really focus on what's feasible, what's going to provide me more value, and for sure, it's tough. It's tough to know what you can afford.
Absolutely. Number 6 here in the launch program is wealth. And again, that's the easy part, stocks, bonds, investments, mutual funds, ETFs, whatever it may be. We can build a plan around that. But again, that is secondary to paying off student loans, paying off your OSAP, potentially having cash flow, emergency funds, the insurance, the house, and then, of course, the wealth pool. And the final part here is the family. At some point, you're still young enough, but not to worry. Yeah. But later in your 20s, early 30s, you get a little bit of pressure from the girlfriend. Hey, it's time to get married, have a family. Yeah. And again, people have to have that type of plan. But, the point with our whole conversation today is that, there is a platform out there. If you're out there, if you're in your 20s and your early 30s and you want some direction, feel free to reach out to us here at Capital Wealth Management. Nicholas is here to help guide you through our launch program, and hopefully they can benefit on your understanding, your wisdom, and your soon-to-be experience, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Hey, appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for coming on today. I really appreciate Nicholas coming on the show today. And again, thanks for watching and listening. Look for us on YouTube. We've got our YouTube station, which is the It's Your Wealth podcast.